Okay, thank you. So today I'm going to talk about my paper of Social 199. My topic is acculturation among Chinese a Chinese exchange student at UC Berkeley, qualitative research. My presentation will involve 4 parts: introduction, method, result, and discussion. The first part is introduction. I want to first talk about the international exchange student group. According to the Institute of International Education of America, they are, I don't know how to say these numbers. There are a lot of Chinese international students studied in American college and universities and make a lot of financial income for them. And according to my incomplete statistics, the UCB 22 fall exchange students are over 350, and they are from a lot of different programs like BISP or BGA, EAP, or something else. And they majored in different fields like psychology, chemistry, geography, history, philosophy, and so on. So all the international exchange students will face a problem called acculturation. Barry is the expert in this field, and he gives a definition of acculturation. It means meeting diverse cultures and the resulting changes when 2 or more cultural groups and their individuals come into contact. And he also some 4 strategies, including integration, assimilation, separation, and then marginalization of acculturation. And a lot of research come up a lot of models of acculturation, but none of them are first developed for the international student group. International students will face a lot of stressors, including language, educational stressors, socio-cultural stressors, practical stressors. And language can be a significant barrier, and it will affect educational and social-cultural stressors also. This content is in my paper, so here I don't want to say a lot, so I will move on. And researchers also find that social support is a key factor to mediate the acculturation and the psychological health. Social support is from individuals and organizations. For the individuals, international students will talk to their families when they encounter some significant event or experience extreme stress. And for the less stress, they are more likely to talk to their peers. And also a lot of organizations works for international student mental health, like the counseling groups or some international student organizations or the international student office and so on. For the method, I recruit 3 participants to attend this research. I send a pre-test questionnaire to the WeChat group of our exchange students, and select the participant. They are all from China, and their mother language is Mandarin, and they one is male, one is male, two are females. And they are all junior students in the southern part of China, the universities in southern China, and they never studied or lived abroad before this semester. Their majors were statistics, economics, and physics. For the procedures, before starting, I asked the participants to sign an informed consent about the privacy and the possibility involved topics. And the interviews were conducted in library study rooms. It's quiet and undisturbed. I used Mandarin Chinese to communicate with the participants. And it's a semi-structured review, and I raised some pre-established open-ended questions, and the participants are free to express themselves. The interview lasts 18 to 40 minutes, and it was transcribed on a website called 智慧听见, and also reviewed by me for accuracy. And each participant will receive $5 as the to show the gratitude of me. And for the data analysts, I use the grounded theory to establish the how to say that? To establish my result. And the result part, I divide acculturation, the whole process to two aspects, the stressors and adjustment. And in the stressors, I find that there are four crucial factors which can become the stressors. And for the living, in the living, the most important is the financial burden, because the price in US is much more higher than in China, most of the city in China. And for living, it also has a lot of abilities requirement, like you need to cook in your own apartment instead of eating in the dining hall. So you need to manage your time and manage your budget and manage your energy or something. And the living habit here is also very different from China. Obviously the eating, the food is very almost, I think all the participants think is distasteful and don't want to eat them and miss the food in China. So it will cause some homesick and stress. In academic parts, the most mentioned is the academic burden, like student will have more class hours, include lectures, discussions, and the laboratories, and so on. And also the assignment is very frequently, like in China, you only studied very, very hard before the midterm and final. So it's that week. Another time you are more free to do your own things, but here you have your assignment and you need to review them every week. So it feels more stressful. And also the teaching method is also very different. Professors allowed students to interrupt the lectures by asking questions, and because they want students to think more deeply and critically. They also their teaching speed and the content of their lectures are more free. They can change it and don't need to rush before the end of each lecture to complete all the things. And also, the exchange students study here have a lot of future expectation about their graduate year and the peer pressure. So it will bring stress. For the social culture, the most important is the interpersonal communication part, and the exchange students mostly communicate with other Chinese exchange students than Asians. Few of them have really close American friends, and also the pluralism. Like student will shop by the homeless and be very interested in the various activities held by the universities and other organizations. However, the discrimination is also a part of social cultural stresses. Participant described her experience of discrimination, and also is very interested that students will experience ambivalence when considering returning home. And for the adjustment, the student often have two ways to adjust. And for the self-regulation, they do leisure activities and lower their standard. For the social sport, they turn to individuals like their parents and friends for help, and also some organization like the counseling center will help them. And for the discussion part, I have four discussions. Like the first is a different major will student of different major will have different perspectives of academic stresses. And also I discussed the per-departure ambivalence with the culture shock culture shock theory. And I discussed the counseling and mental health service used in the exchange student groups. And also I listed some limitations of my study. And this is my first draft of my paper. And thanks for listening.
Thank you. And you also shared the draft of your paper with me, and I can put that in the chat. I think you wanted students and others here to have the option to take a look at your first draft. So does anyone have any questions or any comments or anything else to share?
Yeah, I do. Can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. I thought that was really wonderful. It's a great insight into the experience of international students. So that was really helpful. I know as a teacher here at Berkeley, I often wonder how students are feeling and how they are experiencing being at the university. And so it helps me actually I think it helps me be a better teacher to have this information. So I want to thank you for that. That's really helpful. And this is kind of trivial, but maybe not. One question I had is, you said the food wasn't good here. And I think people in Berkeley think the food is the best in the world, right? I mean, this is a cliche, Alice Waters and whatnot. So I thought it was funny, and I appreciated that because I'm from New York, so I think the food in New York is better. But I think it's right. It's whatever your whatever you're familiar with, whatever is your comfort food. Is it that it is not familiar, the food? Is that what you mean by that? Or is it the quality, or is it the style? Just curious.
It's not, I think it's not familiar because in there, I think Chinese food here is not very fit the flavor of Chinese because they are critic about the food. And also, I think the style, because people here add a lot of sugar and oil in the food, so sometimes it's also be salty. And I think in southern part of China, people don't eat so much flavor. They want the food be plain. I don't know.
So is there any place you found that was acceptable food-wise? So
Yeah. I really like the noodle dynasty. Have you heard of it? It's in the south of the campus, near the south part. Yeah, on the Telegraph Avenue. It's really nice. I often went to there.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check it out now. So thanks.
Other questions? We have about 3 more minutes. Or we can just share restaurant recommendations.
I could talk about food endlessly, but I do have another question. And maybe your perspective as a student here in connection to this project you've done. And for me as a staff member, and there are a lot of staff members on this in this Zoom session, what suggestions do you have for us maybe that we could do to better support students from China during their experience here, or that maybe can extend to students also from other places beyond China?
Yeah, I asked this question to the participant, and they said they want more events, or they want like the student group together and circle and share their opinions or feelings to each other and be more open. So like a group therapy. I don't know. They want that, and they think will be more helpful. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That's always helpful to hear things like that. And if you think of anything else, don't hesitate to share.
I have one more question too. So in terms of the assignments, I'm curious about this. So do you prefer to have one high pressure exam? Is that better? Because we are told here as teachers, that's really bad, and we should pester you with endless small assignments, and that to give you a high pressure exam it's very bad. So I'm curious. I'd like to hear what you found in your research.
Yeah. I think some students who is really self-disciplined, they prefer the weekly assignments because they always keep up with the pace of the lectures. But like me, I prefer the exams at one stage, and so I can manage my time more freely. Yeah.